So you both do a lot of activism. I mean, you mentioned a dog rescue, beach cleanups.
Right.
That's super important. I came across a protest in 2017 that was against SeaWorld. Can you talk a little bit about that? Why you decided to bear it all for the animals, and what was the message behind that?
As you saw, our naked bodies were painted like orcas. And we're always ready to go the extra mile or do anything extreme to make a point for animals. It was really a no-brainer. I mean, we've both been against SeaWorld for many, many years. I can't even believe that it's something we even still have to fight. But yeah, it was a very hot day. I was heavily pregnant.
Hot.
I was like 8 months pregnant at the time with my first son. And yeah, we were all kneeling on burning hot asphalt. I think
it was literally, straight in sunlight. Like it felt like we were like on a frying pan.
I think we were both just getting through it. Like the animals suffer so much worse than this.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like chosen to kneel in the middle, and everyone like did a die off. So everyone was like laying, but for whatever reason, they wanted me to kneel in the center, like squat kneel, which I thought like, oh, awesome. I have the easier job, until I actually sat in a kneel position. And within like, I want to say 60 seconds, both my legs lost all feeling. And people thankfully were going and buying ice and like throwing ice at us, because we were supposed to be dead. So there's no moving, no talking for a whole hour. And so everyone that participated in that is a trooper, honestly.
Wow.
Because like Nia said, I just kept being like, okay, if I can't sit in this position for an hour, like these animals are trapped in captivity their whole lives.
It sounds like that was very beneficial for you guys to get the message, even for yourselves, to like not stop, like to not stop your activism, having that perspective of like what the animals are probably going through.
Yeah, it just makes you realize that where you're going through is like 1/1000th of the difficulty. So we manned up. However, Nia and other people did have to pick me up to get me in the van after, because I couldn't walk for like an hour.
God.
But I think it was a successful protest. I think a lot of people paid attention, and we, had a lot of media kind of pick it up, and a lot of people come and like talk to the PETA people around us about what we were doing. So
yeah, and I don't know if we covered this already. I don't think we did, but I think it was a really important visual for people, because we did it in a public setting, because each of us represented one of the orcas that have died at SeaWorld. I think as of today there are 44, but that's not including some of the orcas that died in utero. Like I was actually representing one of the orcas who died, along with her baby who died inside her. Oh. So obviously that's horrific, and something that a lot of people, who might not be very well versed in activism or animal rights might not even know is happening. Like maybe they know, okay, people are against having them in captivity, but I don't think they realize the depth of the suffering and the losses that are occurring there.
I think the general public, the reason that we're able to do the things that we do to these animals is because we other them. And we say that, oh, they're just whales. Oh, yeah, they live in the ocean. They're different from us. And so that perpetuates this idea that we're allowed to continue doing the things that we do to animals and have dominion over them and make them jump through hoops. Or, we did an episode on circuses where bears are balancing on balls. It's absurd. And it's this like supremacy that we think that we have over other species. So what do you want people to know specifically about the orcas and about Corky?
For me, it's just like, I used to go to SeaWorld. I was that person. I used to go to SeaWorld. I used to volunteer at aquariums. And I truly like thought that I loved these animals, and I would watch them and I would just think like, oh, they're happy. They're in water. Like I would never, I think your brain doesn't open to things you don't want to know, because you want to be able to continue to do that. And I wanted to be close to these animals. I swam with the belugas. I went in like I did the behind the scenes, like I did all of it. And I think that the important thing to know is like, these animals are not happy. If you think they look happy, the dolphins, or they're doing tricks, so you think like, oh my God, they're so happy in their environment. They're absolutely miserable. It is a prison. They do not want to be there. They're forced to be there. They get attacked by other animals that are also forced to be there. They get sick, they die, and they just suffer the entire time just so you can see an animal. And it's just not necessary at all. So just don't buy a ticket, don't go. educate yourself, tell your friends and family. Like, it's not worth it for the animals for you to have that experience.
Right.
And for Corky, like it's not too late. She doesn't have to suffer the same fate as all the other 44 orcas who have died there. Obviously, her life has been ruined up until this point, but we could give her a different end of her life. She could be put in a sanctuary. She could have more freedom. It could be much different, and we owe her that. And I think that, sorry, my cat is climbing all over
That cat is gorgeous.
He's been, Jade mentioned the screen was shaking. It's because he's been trying to get up here the entire time.
Now he doesn't want to. Now he's like, okay, enough. I had 5 seconds. I'm done.
He wants to jump on the computer. But yeah, I just think like to really stress that right now is the time that we have to act if we want her outcome to be different from all the rest. Like, making me gonna cry.
Besides not buying a ticket, what else can they do in order to take more action and so that this happens sooner than later?
Yeah, I mean, spreading awareness, obviously, like talking to your friends and family. All of us probably have family members who still frequent parks like SeaWorld. They think that there's no big deal. So even if we're not buying tickets like they are, we really need to be spreading the message. Also, posting on social media, putting pressure on SeaWorld to know that the public has turned against them. And won't be turned back. I think contacting legislators, like one of the biggest changes we can make as activists is to put legislation in place to stop these horrific crimes against animals. Jade, I'm sure that there's lots of.
Well, I mean, PETA has a bunch of campaigns you can follow and and sign petitions and send emails. Like, the one thing I love is like the PETA app. I downloaded it. You can literally hit one button and it like sends an email to the right people about the topics. And like, sometimes like I'll send 100 in a day, just like going through it. And I think, there's other animal organizations that fight against this too. So supporting them, donating to them, signing the petitions, sending the emails. Well, truly.
You guys are getting creative with it. You created drinks at Sugar Taco.
We did,
to protest SeaWorld. Tell me about that.
So we try to make it as fun as possible. We always call it like fun, easy activism, because not everybody is ready to like stand outside of SeaWorld in the hot sun with a sign or like confront, their family members.
Right.
And so we partnered with PETA for an Empty the Tanks cocktail and mocktail. That's super cute, and it allows people to, come and just have a drink and enjoy themselves while also supporting, the campaign against SeaWorld. And we had a lot of people posting and tagging, and we're obviously all banned from SeaWorld's Instagram. It helps when other people hop in.